What is up, everybody? Welcome to DFS by the Numbers. This is my betting breakdown video for UFC Atlanta. We have Joaquin Buckley going against Kamaru Usman. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this card. I think it's going to be a violent card. I think we're going to get some very brutal finishes. And that's all you can really ask for. 13 fights, a lot of fun fights. And yeah, decent amount of action for this card. So hoping to kind of keep the ball rolling. Had a really good week last week. And looking to hopefully have another really good week this week for UFC Atlanta. So before we get into it, if you guys could do me a favor, like the video, smash that like button for me, guys. And if you guys have not subscribed and you do enjoy the content, please consider subscribing. My goal for the end of the year is to reach 30,000 subscribers. I think it's definitely on the table. Getting pretty close to that would be an incredible milestone. So please consider subscribing to the channel if you do enjoy the content. Would appreciate that a ton. But yeah, got about 8 bets for this card. And looking for a lot of violence. If there's violence on this card, it's going to be a pretty solid night for me. So we're going to kick it off in the first fight of the night. We have Jamie Lynn Horth going against Vanessa Demopoulos. It's going to be a big, giant pass. I think it's a pretty clear-cut Jamie Lynn Horth. Jamie Lynn Horth by decision. The decision prop is sitting at minus 235. Demopoulos coming up a weight class on short notice. Very small for the flyweight division and very small in this matchup against Jamie Lynn Horth, who her best attribute is probably size and strength. So yeah, it seems like a Jamie Lynn Horth just out-strengthening. Is strengthening a word? Strengthening. I don't care. It's a word now. I think she's going to out-strength Vanessa Demopoulos here en route to decision, but I just don't really see a way to bet on this fight. Next, we got Angelusa going against Phil Rowe. It's going to be another pass for me. I did kind of want to take a shot on Lusa here, but the more I think about it, the more I just think it's going to be a pretty greasy fight. You know, these are two greasy fighters who I just don't really trust all that much. I do think Angelusa does have a path with, mixing in the wrestling, just being very durable. Phil Rowe is a guy that is 0-4 to the decision. So I kind of think Lusa can kind of do more across 15 minutes, but I don't really trust him, to be honest. And I especially don't trust Phil Rowe, who's kind of very hit or miss, who doesn't have the best in-fight IQ. This fight has just grease written all over it. So it's going to be a pass for me. The pick's Angelusa with not the most confidence. He was plus money. I probably would have took the dog shot there, but at laying chalk on Angelusa, just not something I'm really in love with doing. Next up, we got Ricky Simon going against Cameron Smotherman. So I have the under 2.5 rounds, got it at plus 152 for 1.25 units. That line has just gotten crushed since then. What I think the best bet now is Ricky Simon inside the distance, which is at plus money, plus 110 there for Ricky Simon inside the distance. I think this is Ricky Simon all day. He's minus 500 on the money line. And yeah, Smotherman, he has 2 gaping holes in his game, and I expect Ricky Simon to penetrate those holes. The first hole is the chin. We've seen Cameron Smotherman knocked out twice, both in less than 60 seconds. I think Ricky Simon can crack and potentially knock out Smotherman. Or we've seen Smotherman get taken down, get controlled, and almost get subbed by Surrey City. Like, he made Surrey City look like Khabib Nurmagomedov in that fight. I mean, City took him down 5-6 times, and if City's taking you down, who's a striker, I mean, I think Ricky Simon can take you down as well. On top of that, Smotherman taking this fight on short notice. Simon had a full camp. I think this should be Simon. Simon inside the distance. I'm on the under. Again, that line has moved, but Simon inside the distance at plus money still. I like that as well. Next, we got Jose Ochoa going against Cody Durden. We got Ochoa minus 190, Durden plus 165. And the way I played this is, I think it's either a Durden by decision here, which Durden by decision is plus 275, or I think it's Ochoa finishing. Ochoa has a 100% finish rate, the majority of those by knockout. He does have 1 submission win in his career. And you look at Durden, 7 losses, 5 of the 7 come inside the distance, 4 by submission, 1 by knockout. So I think if Ochoa's winning this fight, he's clipping Durden with something. He's potentially, snatching up a neck here. I think he's finishing inside the distance, and that's what I lean towards. Durden, he is getting up there. He's taken a lot of damage these last couple fights. Took a lot of damage in the Bruno Silva fight. Took a lot of damage in the Joshua Van fight. And Jose Ochoa, I think this guy's special. I think he has some upside in the division. He hits very hard, has a lot of tools on the feet, and also has a sneaky submission game as well. So I like Ochoa here. I think he finishes Cody Durden. Is it a knockout? Is it a sub? Could be either, but I just took the inside the distance plus 165 for 1.25 units. And again, if you are on the Durden side, I think Durden by decision plus 275 is not a bad look for his side there. Next up, we got Malcolm Wellmaker going against Chris Motinho here. We have Wellmaker minus 2,000, Chris Motinho plus 1,000. And yeah, I like Wellmaker here, obviously. I think he wins this fight. I think he wins it pretty early. What I did was I did the same game parlay of Wellmaker and the under 1.5 rounds, came out to minus 150. I have 1.5 units on that. Just give him 7.5 minutes to knock out Chris Motinho, who does have a 29% strike and defense, who's very hittable. And, big talking point this week is, he went almost 15 minutes with Sean O'Malley, but O'Malley was messing around in there, man. Like, O'Malley was dribbling a fake basketball. He was doing fadeaways in there. He was kind of messing around and still, ended up finishing him, but Wellmaker's not going to mess around. Wellmaker has a ton of power, and I think, Motinho probably gets put out here. Motinho got knocked out by, 70-year-old Guido Canetti. Last time we saw him in the UFC, if 70-year-old Guido Canetti's knocking you out, I think Wellmaker can do the same, if not worse. So I like Wellmaker. Wellmaker by first-round knockout. It's not a bad bet, but I'm on that same game parlay, Wellmaker and the under 1.5 rounds, 1.5 units at minus 150. I think it's a much better way than obviously laying minus 2,000. Next, we got Chiesa, Court McGee. It's a pass for me. I think, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this fight. Like, I could see a couple different outcomes. I think the most likely outcome is either a Chiesa submission or decision, but I don't know. McGee's not a guy that's easy to take down or submit. I mean, Court McGee's been fighting for how long, and he's never been submitted ever, and really, nobody's ever been really able to control him ever as well. So it's going to be kind of an interesting matchup. McGee is 40 years old, and he has taken a lot of damage as of late. He has been getting knocked out as of late, but Chiesa has no knockout wins. So I think Chiesa probably does get it done. I just can't really stomach laying the minus 340 here, but Chiesa's probably the pick, but no bet for me. Rodolfo Bellato going against Paul Craig, but Bellato minus 400, Craig plus 300. Not much sticking out here. I think if anything, maybe the under 1.5, but Bellato's kind of a attritional finish type guy. On the Contender Series, the second time around, he got a late second round finish. And then in the UFC, he knocked out Peterier late in the second round as well. And Paul Craig's kind of been doing the fight to survive type thing. I mean, the Bo Nickel fight was just a terrible look. Didn't really even try to fight Bo Nickel. So I could actually see this sneaking over 1.5, which would be very annoying. And that's kind of why I want to stay away. Anytime Paul Craig fights, I do look towards violence, but the under is now minus 110, just not enough meat on the bone for me. So I'm going to pass on this one, but I think Bellato probably does knock out Craig in the first or second round. Kind of leaning more so second round, though. Next, we got Omar C going against Alonza Menfield. I like C here. I hate the line. Like, I can't believe the line on Omar C here. Minus 700 for a guy that he looks great when he can take you down, but we haven't really seen him strike outside of the Da Un Jung fight. And yeah, to his credit, he looked really good in the striking against Da Un Jung, but this is going to be a much tougher test than Alonza Menfield. I'm just not convinced C is going to be able to take down Menfield that easily, at least early on. Menfield does have really good takedown defense. He's very strong, but yeah, Menfield is getting up there in age. He went to an absolute war with a newcomer in his last fight, Julius Walker. He's taken a lot of damage. I think C probably wins this fight, but I think it could extend. Over 1.5 could make some sense. C round 3 decision can make some sense, but yeah, this fight can go a lot of different ways. But I think the majority of those ways it goes is C winning. But does he win by knockout? Does he knock out Menfield, who's been knocked out 3 times? Is he the first one to submit Menfield? Which is the submission's actually the most likely path according to the odds here, plus 160. Or does he win by decision? Is Menfield tough enough to last 15 minutes? I don't know, but I think C gets it done. I just can't lay the minus 700 there. Next, we got Mansour Abdulmalik going against Cody Brundage. This is my biggest bet of the card. I'm on the under 1.5 rounds, 3 units, minus 186. I think this fight probably does end in round 1, but I do like getting those extra 2.5 minutes. And Mansour Abdulmalik did finish Klein, and he finished the dude on the Contender Series in the second round as well. But yeah, I think it ends within the first 7.5 minutes. You have Cody Brundage, who is the definition of a kill or be killed fighter. You have Cody Brundage, who's the definition of a great hammer and a bad nail. Cody Brundage, 4 wins in the UFC. All 4 come in the first round. So I think if Brundage is pulling off this massive upset, it's going to come in round 1. But I think once Brundage feels the power of Malik, or God forbid Malik gets on top of Brundage, I think the fight's going to be over shortly after. So I like the under. I think it's a great parlay piece, but I played it straight, minus 186 for 3 units. Next, we got Hani Barcelos going against Cody Garbrandt. We got Barcelos minus 205, Garbrandt plus 175. And I picked Garbrandt for this fight, and I never switch my pick, but I'll be honest with you guys, I hate this pick. After hearing some of the interviews this week of Cody, he's been dealing with some major health issues in the later half of his career. He showed up this week with just a horrible haircut and just a terrible eye tattoo. I'm really worried about Cody Garbrandt, so I'm picking Cody. I'm not going to switch my pick because I just don't do that, but this is probably my least favorite pick in a very long time. What I do like, though, is I like violence. I'm surprised to see the fight doesn't go to decision only at minus 125. I bet the fight doesn't go to decision 1.5 units at minus 112. I just think it's a violent fight. I can see multiple ways this fight can finish. Garbrandt's been finished 5 times. I could see a Hani Barcelos knockout. I think if Cody Garbrandt's winning this fight, it's going to be a Cody Garbrandt knockout. We've seen Barcelos knocked out in the past. We've seen him hurt. We've seen him dropped. He's getting up there in age, 38 years old, so I think either guy's live to land a big shot here. Or I think Barcelos can potentially get the fight down to the ground and win this fight by submission. One thing that's very interesting to note is Barcelos, in the first several fights in his career, is kind of known as a grappler that just went out there and struck with his opponents. This guy's a legit black belt. I think he's a third-degree black belt. And early in his career, just didn't do a lot of wrestling, didn't do a lot of grappling outside of like the Chris Gutierrez fight where he subbed him. But these last 3 fights, an important number to note is he's attempted 38 takedowns in his last 3 fights. Like, those are insane. Like, those are Marab type number. 38 takedown attempts in his last 3 fights. And I think he finally figured out that, hey, he probably should use that wrestling background. He probably should use that third-degree black belt. And if he does that here, like, he could very well submit Cody Garbrandt, who just looked like an absolute white belt on the ground against Davis and Figueiredo. Figueiredo took him down, instantly got into mount, almost choked him out with the head and arm, took his back, and then choked him out with the rear naked choke, like, easily. Sliced through his guard like a hot knife through butter. So I'm worried about Garbrandt. I'm worried about the health issues. I'm worried about where his head's at. I'm worried about the motivation. Money's coming in on Barcelos, and we'll see how it shakes out. But I like the fight doesn't go quite a bit at 1.5 units minus 112. And I think a long shot prop for this week. And I don't have a ton of long shot props. This is the only one I'm betting. It's going to be a Barcelos by submission plus 550 for a half a unit. I just think if he goes to the wrestling, goes to the grappling, I think a submission's like very, very live in this fight. So yeah, I think this fight finishes, and I think Barcelos by sub is a long shot prop that makes some sense this week. Next, we got Shabbazian going against Andre Petroski. And yeah, I think there's 2 ways to play this. If you like Shabbazian, you play the 1-2 or the 1. And if you like Petroski, you live bet, or you play the round 3 decision. Maybe they sprinkle the 2-3 props. But for me, I'm on the Shabbazian side. I played Edmund Shabbazian to win in rounds 1 or rounds 2, 1.5 units at plus 130. And I think Petroski's going to struggle to take down Shabbazian in this first round. So I think they're going to be forced to strike in this first round. And we've seen Petroski knocked out by Jacob Malkoun. Saw him get knocked out in 60 seconds by Michel Pereira. I think this is going to be Petroski's most dangerous opponent yet, by a pretty decent margin, to be honest. I mean, Jacob Malkoun's a good fighter, don't get me wrong. Jacob Malkoun is not dangerous at all. And he knocked him out with his hip, right? And Shabbazian, what he is he's dangerous. He hits very hard. He's still young. He's still improving. He's the younger fighter by a few years here as well. And he was training for a wrestler in his last fight in Dylan Butka. He was training for a wrestler in this fight in Petroski. I think he's going to be ready for some of these takedowns. And if he can stuff these takedowns and keep it standing for even just a minute or 2, I think that could be enough to find the chin of Petroski here. So I like Petroski to win in round 1 or round 2, 1.5 units plus 130. And like I said, if you're on the Petroski side, I think there are some interesting ways to play it. The decision prop, the round 2-3 prop, maybe a live bet, but I think Shabbazian gets him out of there early. Up next, we got Rose Namajunas going against Miranda Maverick. The pick is Rose. I thought about maybe like a plus 3.5 point spread on Maverick, but they're all over it. It's minus 150. Was hoping, since she's a decent-sized dog, it would be plus money, but that's not the case. Rose probably gets it done, probably by decision. I just think it could be a little bit closer than the line does indicate. I could see Maverick using her strength to get some takedowns, maybe win some minutes on top. But yeah, I think Rose is the better fighter. And if she lost to Maverick, it would probably be her worst loss in a very long time. So yeah, give me Rose here, but not confident enough to lay the minus 240. And then we got the main event. we have Joaquin Buckley going against Kamaru Usman. I played the under here, plus 105 for 1.5 units. It just made no sense. Joaquin Buckley's a minus 300 favorite. You got to think if Buckley's winning this fight, he's winning it by knockout. And if this fight does go 25 minutes, that means there's value on Kamaru Usman. But yeah, I think Usman, I'm kind of worried about him. 38 years old, on a 3-fight skid, hasn't won a fight in a very long time. Been battling those knee issues, the last several years. It's been a while, and his knees are probably only getting worse. I was surprised he stepped up on the scale regularly today at the weigh-ins. I thought he was going to have to step on the scale backwards. I mean, the knees are just so bad. I think his body's failing him a little bit, and I think it's Buckley's time. Buckley's in his prime. He's looking good. I don't think Usman's going to be able to wrestle here, and if that's the case, I think Buckley probably lands a big shot and knocks out Usman at some point in this fight. Usman, to his credit, he's only been knocked out once, but I mean, look at who he's facing. I mean, he's facing the least dangerous guys in the entire UFC, Leon Edwards, Colby Covington. I mean, those guys are finishing absolutely nobody. I mean, this guy got dropped by Gilbert Burns in the first round. So, I think Kamaru Usman is going to potentially get finished here, and this might be it for Kamaru Usman. I know he's talking about how he wants to still be a 2-division champ, but I don't know. I mean, I don't think that's all that likely. So give me Buckley here, Buckley by knockout. And yeah, I mean, if Usman wins this fight, I do think it's probably by decision, but I mean, Usman can knock out Buckley. I mean, Usman has power. Buckley's been knocked out 4 times, so I think the under is, probably the best way to go here. Give me the under for the Buckley-Usman fight. And there you guys have it. Going to do a quick recap for you guys for this card. Looking at a lot of violence. The biggest bet of the night's on the under 1.5 rounds in the Brundage-Malik fight. 3 units, minus 186. I have 1.5 units on the under 4.5 in the main event, 1.5 units plus 105. I have 1.5 units on Shabbazian to win in rounds 1 or rounds 2, plus 132. And then I have the Wellmaker in the under 1.5 same game parlay, 1.5 units minus 150. I got Simone Smotherman, 1.25 units, under 2.5 rounds, plus 152. That line has moved quite a bit, but I think Ricky Simone at plus money to finish is still a great look. Ochoa inside the distance, 1.25 units, plus 165. 1.5 units on the fight doesn't go in the Garbrandt Barcelos fight, and then the only big sprinkle of the card is Barcelos by submission, half a unit, plus 550. Those are the bets, guys, for UFC Atlanta. Best of luck for the card. Should be a fun one. Like on your way out, subscribe, and we'll talk to you guys soon. See you later.